What's happening there? Welcome to the Titans Colosseum podcast, man. I'm your host, Morocco Taylor. You know who I'm in the building with, Firestone, RJ. What's happening, my guys?
What's going on? What's going on, man? Happy to be on here for another episode of the Titans Colosseum podcast. You know how we do.
Yeah, man, excited. We got a special guest in here. He's had us on his show. Now we get to return the favor, and we get to talk about one of the best or one of the hottest discussions we have on this show, and with the Texans, and Texans fans love to be in here. So, man, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, man. Hey, we got our favorite hater back in the building, Sid, man. But I'm gonna get
now
to the
we can acknowledge him.
Right, but I'm gonna get to the shout outs in just a second. Got to turn our special guest up for the night, man. Yeah. Hey, he holding it down for the Texans fans, and for whoever's watching on the Texans on the Texans side of things, y'all know who he is. He don't need no introduction, but he gonna need an introduction for my fellow Titans fans. You can catch him Monday through Fridays on the Locker Room. Y'all give it up for Landry Locker. Landry, what's happening?
Fellas, how you doing? I know this is y'all Super Bowl on Sunday, so I'm sure that y'all have already got the party favors ordered and everything like that. Got your game faces on, so let's get that Super Bowl party. Got the squares. I'm sure I got some $100 squares, so let's just get it, baby.
It's crazy.
Yeah, for awesome. For sure. I saw. So you saying this is our Super Bowl? So I guess this past Monday night against the Cowboys was y'all divisional round playoff game.
Yeah, I'll be the first to admit that there is a lot of there's a lot of excitement here when they beat the Cowboys, which I don't get. You know, I've been on kind of both sides up 45 on that. I don't understand the distaste. There's no real rivalry there. But yeah, that was exciting, and they kind of took over the stadium. So I do think there's some excitement, but before that, there were a lot of offensive struggles. So there are a lot of questions about the team as well. And in all seriousness, I actually do think, and I've asked D'Amico Ryans about this. I've asked offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick about this. I do think that the Titans, like the strength of their team, could pose a pretty interesting threat on Sunday when these two teams do square off. I'm talking about the D-line. So I do think the D-line could be an interesting factor.
For sure, we're going to most definitely get to it. But before we do, make sure you go holler at Wilson down in Music City Autoplex. Buy with confidence, best prices in 500 miles. If you can't make it down there to the lot, go to the website, check out their inventory, musiccityAutoplex.com. Give them a call at 844-543-0108. And make sure you visit our website, TitansColiseum.com. You can catch our latest articles there. You can catch our shows there as well. So head on over to the website, check out everything we got going on. We are all digital streaming platforms. Y'all know that already. Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, wherever you do your podcast at, we are most definitely there. Firestone, you got some 5 picks to talk about?
Yeah, man. Hey, this episode is brought to you by BetUS. If you're looking to get in on the action this season, BetUS has you covered with 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Whether it's football, basketball, or any of your other favorite games, you'll have more to play with right out the gate. Plus, they're offering a 10% gambler's insurance to give you a little extra peace of mind. Just click the link in our description or scan the QR code on the screen to claim the exclusive offers. And as always, bet responsibly.
Yes, sir. We got Lewis in the building tonight, man. We got Rashid in the house, top tier. Our favorite hater, Sid, in the building. We got Fulcrum in the house, man. What's going on with you? We got the pawn shop in the building, man. Hey, shout out to the pawn shop. We got Daniel in the house. We got H-Town highlights. Landry, look like you brought some people with you tonight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned it up, man. I just put it on my channel, so we're live on mine. I'm gonna go live at 10:30. I figured that y'all wanted to embrace the smoke, so y'all can get at that. I know I always get drug into y'all's conversations. Like I'm just minding my business, and I don't know. I think a lot of times RJ fires up people, and then you do too. But then like y'all are just firing people up, and I'm just basically like a fly on the wall with the smoke. So I figured might as well embrace it. There's a little bit of history.
Oh, yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Everybody's
We don't run from
invited
it.
to the Colosseum, man. But we got Andre in the house. We got BG in the building. We got Eddie in the house. Zach, Julie. We got Day One, Corey D. We got Sheriff Rand. We got Fred in and out mobile service in here. We got Ronnie Schneed in the house. We got the Sinister in the building. Miguel, Bull Rush, another Texans fan. We got Flexia in the building. Man, hey, we locked and loaded tonight, man. Shout out to Jacob, Sportacular. We got Steve in the house. Man, hey, man. Derek, what's happening with you? My boy Primetime, what's going on with you? Two-Tone Productions, what's going on? Toucher Trip, what's going on? Hey, we loaded tonight, man. Hey, we ain't gonna keep y'all waiting, though, man. We gonna get to it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. Code Red in the house, Stanley in the house, Arnold in the house. I think we got them all out the way. But hey, if I miss anybody, you know it's all love. What's up, Marlo? Let's go. So we know these quarterbacks have been struggling. One's been struggling more than the other. And Landry, I'm going to let you take this one first. Talk about CJ Stroud struggles and what's the biggest cause in your opinion?
Oh, it's the O-line. I mean, there's zero doubt it's the O-line. He was also without Nico Collins for 4 weeks. So there's no excuse. It actually ended up being 5 weeks. So the offensive line, they anticipated that it was going to be a lot better. It really hasn't been, despite the fact they have a lot invested in it. So there's been a little bit of that. And there's also been, you had Diggs go down, and then you had Nico Collins when he was leading the league in receiving. He went down for 5 weeks. And I also think it's kind of gotten to his confidence a little bit. And let's be honest, like, some people will look at the interceptions last year, but CJ said himself, I probably should have thrown more interceptions. It just sometimes, it went off guys' hands or whatever. So I think it has as much to do with the offensive line and Nico Collins' absence as anything. I don't think you can say that they're on the right track with the Cowboys after the Cowboys win. I didn't see enough to make you feel too confident in that, but it goes back to the O-line. It goes back to the absence of Nico Collins, the struggles the last few weeks.
So let me ask you this, Landry, about the offensive line or whatnot. We know the interior of the offensive line. That's pretty much, the main problems that's going on there. I mean, are there some situations to where, CJ is actually causing these sacks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some times where, maybe he's holding the ball. There's kind of a balance where he's avoiding sacks that probably should happen. And there's also times where he's just not trusting himself and not being confident. So I would say it's a combination of a lot of things. But the interior of the offensive line is where the problems start, and receivers not getting open.
For sure. RJ, go ahead, talk to him, man. In your opinion, the biggest cause for Levis and his struggles?
But Levis, it just seems like his decision making, man. It's more so with him that his decision making, man, there's always been a problem with him all the way back to whenever he was in college, man. He's always had all the arm talent, the physicals, all this, that, and the other, but his decision making and his cerebralness has been a problem with him for 3 years now. And now is the NFL starting to catch up on it too with film. And hopefully, I mean, he had a good game against the Vikings. As much as Titan fans want to make that game seem like he didn't do anything, he had a good game against, and that's a top 5 defense, man. And I've been saying it I said it at the beginning of the season. If you give me 5 good games in a row, and I'm cool with keeping them to next season. So far, I think he's had 2 clean games. And like I said, maybe if he has one against the Texans, I know he can do it against any team because the Texas defense is really, really good. So, we'll see. I'm kind of just in the sit back and watch.
Where's this venom at, man? Come on, guys.
Man, we gonna get to it, man. But we gotta keep it real too,
what
man.
What are we doing here?
The
Come
Titans
on.
are not a good football team, but
Come on,
That
guys.
doesn't say.
We gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Come
You throw a
on.
couple shots, man. We gonna get there.
I ain't
have you
gonna
not
throw
watched
too
this?
much out there, but
Yeah, I
we
have.
got something for y'all Sunday.
Like, you
And I
can only defend so much.
Well, I actually believed it that the Titans were going to be a little bit more of a challenge. I thought the offseason was weird. Like I thought they were rebuilding, and then all of a sudden they're throwing around this money at like Ridley and Snead, which I thought was I just didn't necessarily agree with that line of thinking. But I was paying more attention to the Titans early in the season, and I actually think I don't know if it changes this season. I don't know what happens, but I think the turning point for me where I was like, all right, it just ain't going to happen was the Jets game where they were in pretty good control of the game to where if they would have made it a 2-possession game, then I think there's a chance they hold on to it. But Will Levis does like the backwards, the backwards pass. And I was actually watching the game, and I actually you can see Callahan saying something along the lines of what the hell was that? And it was the week after the whole dialogue was Will Levis. I call him Gosh Allen. Will Levis was making all these mistakes. As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, it ain't happening for them this year. And I honestly think if he doesn't do that, they take a 2-possession lead. I think they probably win that game. Maybe the whole season changes. I don't know, but it's
a whole different season if Will Levis doesn't do those 2 turnovers back-to-back weeks against the Bears and the Jets. Because I believe we win both of those games, man, and it's a totally different season. Like, the defense was playing really good. We could run the ball, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we lost. Then we played the Packers, and it just seemed like he made a pick 6 against the Packers, and the game was over with. We all knew. We was like, yeah, it's over with, man.
Yeah, and the Bears was like, it was like, okay, that was just a mistake. But to do what he did against the Jets after all the talk about the Bears, I was just like, yeah, it ain't gonna happen for him. So yeah, who knows what it looks like. But that's when I was like, let's check out the Colts and see what the Jags do.
Yeah,
are y'all in tank mode yet? Are y'all like rooting for losses yet? I know.
RJ is Firestone. He on the fence.
I do want to beat y'all though. I do.
I'm kind of on the fence, but we got a super chat, man.
Okay,
let me go ahead and handle this, Firestone. We got a super chat, man. Y'all shout out to Buddha, man. Y'all make sure y'all go turn Buddha up, man. Hey, Titans fan, of course, but he also holding it down for us on the Madden scene, man. But Buddha says RJ getting son over by Levis. What is happening?
Nah, I ain't getting son over. I just got to stand on what I said at the beginning of the season, man. Whenever he started having them bad games, and people's like, well, you can't give up on Levis. It's too early. I said, look, give me 5 straight clean games, bro, and I'm cool with Levis. And he's so far he's had 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, please. I was like, come on, Texas, please go ahead and expose this man. So I ain't got to give up. But he beat the Texans. Hey, I can't deny the man, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I do want, so Landry, I do want this one. Just because y'all fans talk way too much. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't leave us the hell alone. So I do want to beat y'all because I just feel like it, just like the Pittsburgh and the Browns on Thursday, I feel like that can happen this Sunday. I'm not gonna bet on it. I'm not gonna come out and say it's gonna happen, but it can happen. You get what I'm saying? Like
that was not convincing. That was not convincing.
It could be it's gonna be an ugly game on Sunday. I just got a feeling, man. It's gonna be ugly. Y'all on have been talking crazy, man. So they're gonna come to play.
I don't know, bro. There's still those things in Will Levis that just I have faith in everything, but when you have a guy that can literally bomb the team at any moment, it's hard to have that faith in the guy. And we've seen one game because the other game, he didn't turn the ball over, but still misreads, bad throws. He should have had some interceptions. Guys dropped the ball. So it's been one game that he's really played better, but still his mechanics are bad. He's throwing open chest. His feet aren't in the right positions when he's throwing. They're opposite of where he's throwing. So he's not looking. He's staring down a guy. He still don't have that pocket of presence, pocket awareness. Every once in a while, he has these good games where I guess defenses don't maybe take them seriously. And then he gets some of these luck plays and it looks good for like 2 or 3 games a year, but we don't need 2 or 3 games a year. We're trying to get to a Super Bowl, and to get to a Super Bowl, you most likely are going to have to win 4 games in a row to do a playoff run. You can't do that by just having 2 or 3 good games a year, bro. So I'm still not there on Will Levis till I start seeing his mechanics start change and it start looking better, because I've always been told the mechanics have to be there unless the defense requires the mechanics not to be there. And a lot of times his mechanics aren't there when the defense doesn't require it to be there.
So here's my thing about Will Levis. I'm not going to discredit him whenever he has a good game. And at the same time, I mean, if he goes out there and has a bad game, I mean, I'm going to call it how I see it. But at the end of the day, man, I think people got to take it week by week with Will Levis, because the goal for this season is to see whether he's the guy or not. And if he just so happens to continue to stack these good games, whether you like it or not, he's going to be back in 2025. And Landry, I know
I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for a strong finish, man.
I'm gonna let you know now, Landry, man. If the Texan game, she's gonna be watching. She's gonna be watching because she hates y'all ass. So it's like
Who?
she wants it. You know who I'm talking about? That lady, man.
You talking about Amy Adams Stank?
No, man, mama, she watching. Yeah, mama is watching it. My second mama is watching. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that Amy.
Oh yeah.
I ain't getting away with calling her stank, man.
Amy Adams Stank. That's what I call her. Yeah. She hates Houston, man. Like, and I understand it from her perspective. I mean, I'm sure that her dad got a lot of crap, and I'm sure he put up with a lot. But yeah, she wants to beat Houston. See, here's the dream scenario here, though. This is like the layup. So right now, the magic number for the division is 4 games. So any combination of Texans wins and losses, 4 games, they clinch. So if they beat the Titans and the Jags, that lowers it to 2. The Colts got the Lions tomorrow, so they lose. It's like 1, and then they have the bye. I want them to win all the way till the final game of the season, and y'all be set up for like the number 1 or 2 pick, and then win the game and get like the 3rd or 4th pick or something like that. So they like rest everybody, and then the Titans beat the Texans because Amy wants it, and then boom, no Shedeur Sanders, no Travis Hunter, bye.
See, and I, the way I've been seeing things now, bro, I truly think Will Levis is back next year. It doesn't matter at this point what he does or what he doesn't do. I think Will Levis will be back next year because I think Amy just wants him to work, and they still think that they can develop him and give him a little more time. But I see more than likely 90% Will Levis is back in the Tennessee Titans jersey as a starter next year for us, and I'm not happy with that.
Hey, shout out to Jacob for the super chat, man. Jacob, we appreciate you very much, man.
That's love right there. See, there's
yeah, for sure, man. I mean, we hate the Texans, but at the end of the day, it's all love here, man. Hey, but Jacob says it sounds like your assessment of Will Levis is if he was good, if he was a good quarterback, he would be a good quarterback.
Now, my assessment is so far with almost 2 years in the NFL, his mechanics hasn't improved or changed whatsoever. They are exactly the same, if not at times worse. So by 2 years, I expect to see some improvement. And if you're just consistently showing these are your mechanics, this is who you are as a QB, you're 25 years old, you already came in late in the development of a passer with just his 1 year under Kentucky. The other time that he was in college, he was just a run QB. So you only have 1 year as learning how to be a pocket pro style QB. Now 2 years, your mechanics aren't changing. And a lot of people's like, well, give him time. 25 years old, oldest QB in the AFC South. You don't have time with this guy because by the time he gets done with his rookie contract, he's 28. So you need this guy Father Time's not on his side. So you need him to start improving quickly. And he's not. By year 2, his mechanics still look the same as it did in Kentucky.
Go ahead, RJ.
So I believe that if Will Levis has a string for if he improves like from what he's been, because he was absolutely terrible to start the year off. But if he improves to be even better than what he was his rookie year towards the end of the season, I think they're going to try to keep him. and they're gonna try to draft around him because they what you gotta think about it, man. It's hard to just replace a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Even unless you just in position to draft one, man. And they believe that probably if we got this young guy, man, we can get away with paying a quarterback first round money, and we got the guy. But at the same time, we look at it like this, man. This offseason gonna tell me how serious the Titans are about winning. So if Will Levis is playing okay, just okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be, and we're in position to pick quarterback, and we don't. I'm gonna just look at it like this, man. This franchise ain't serious about winning. We need a quarterback, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it 100. I think we're a quarterback away from competing in this division. I mean, you look at it, man. No one thought the Denver Broncos were going to be making the playoffs this year. Nobody thought that the freaking Washington Commanders. I know nobody in here thought the Washington Commanders were going to be having the season that they're having. So I don't. Y'all can miss me with it, man. It's just too much wrong with the Titans. Blah blah blah. Nah, because the Washington Redskins was most definitely picking top 2 last season, man. It's a quarterback league. You need a quarterback, man. You get a quarterback that elevates your team. We could become a good team. Ridley's getting open. Ridley looks good. I don't know why people keep bashing Ridley. Ridley looks like one of the top receivers in the league.
Come on.
Like, what you mean?
Come on.
Are you okay? You go see.
Oh,
you
one
go
of the
see.
top-
Take this
You
super
go
chat,
see
guy.
on Sunday. He get open, bro.
He gets open, but
He get open, bro.
Let me
Like,
take
he
this
gets
super
open
chat
a
real quick.
lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Let
Tony
me
Pollard
take
look
super
good.
chat, 'cause
Like,
we got
that's a
two
running
super
game.
We got 2 super chats, man. Shout out to Sport Tackle, always turning us up. We appreciate you so much. If Levis comes out and throws for 300 yards, no picks, and wins, are you bought back in? I'm gonna let you take that one, Firestone.
No, because it's
What
more
would
than
it
one
take?
performance for me. You have to do multiple, and it ain't just winning. I need to see your mechanics. I need to see that you're coachable. I need to see that you can improve. Those are the biggest things. Everybody can get some wins here and there in the NFL, but if your mechanics are bad, good coaches and good defenses are going to take advantage of that, and you're not going to be able to win and make a long run with that. You got to improve constantly. So, and I don't care if we go out here and win at 300. I need to see your mechanics are good, and I need to see you do this consistently because we've seen your play be consistently bad. Now I need to see consistently good triumph that consistently bad.
If he does that, then
I
I'm not sold, but I'm okay. If they keep him, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. It raises the eye. You get what I'm saying? It raises the eye. It brings more conversation if he throws for 300 and gets the W. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, the Texas defense is good, man. You got to give credit where it's due. You can't be a Will Levis hater. You got to be real with him. Either if he's good, he's good. If he's bad, he's bad. You can't just say that. I know I'm a Vols fan, so a lot of Vols fans been really bashing this dude and not giving him no chance. I'm giving him a chance, and so far, man, he hasn't lived up to what he's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And as for the also, man, just going back, man, look, the Texans was trash, man. It was trash before they got CJ Stroud, man. It's a quarterback league, man. The quarterback he has to elevate the team, man. I just don't think Levis is doing that. So
that's the tough thing, though, for y'all is that y'all suck, and there's no quarterback coming out really outside of maybe Shador, and we don't know what Shador is going to be like. It's the worst. It's one of the worst quarterback drafts. It's like 2022 all over again, where Pickett was the only guy first round. So that's the frustrating part is that you're bad at the wrong time, man. And yeah. I can feel that y'all just want to say it. Y'all just don't want to admit that Will Levis sucks. Like just
I mean, we said that.
We said that a while back.
I said it.
A while back.
There's no if. Like he's Josh Allen. He's a backup. Like he is a backup. There's a reason that he slid in the draft. I know sometimes quarterbacks prove people wrong, but there's a reason he slid in the draft. And let's be honest, if the Titans really liked him that much, they would have taken him with the first rounder. And that would have been smart. I don't have any problem with the Titans kicking the tires on a second round pick. Like if you want to churn quarterbacks and get looks at them and figure it out, I have no problem with it, but he's not good. Like if he finishes strong and they talk themselves into it, we'll be having the same conversation next year. Maybe it'll be a little bit better, but he's not the dude. Like he's not y'all's guy. He's never going to be. No. Y'all can say that. I don't think
I've been saying it on Twitter 100,000 times that he's not the guy. But hey, look, it's all right now. The discussion is: are the Titans going to roll with him as a starter next year? That's what the comment. We ain't talking about him being the guy. We're talking about are the Titans going to keep him? You know what I'm saying? And is he going to be the quarterback next year?
RJ keeps trying to be hopefully optimistic that maybe will turn this around because we just need a QB and we're not sold. Like you said, we're not sold on any of these guys truly in the draft coming up this year or next year because you don't even know if Arch is going to come out next year or if he's going to wait another year. So you're just in limbo right now as a Titans fan, like, damn, and we're going to hold on to this guy. We're going to ruin a bunch of stuff. We just spent a bunch of money in free agency, and this guy isn't really looking like the guy. And yeah, this year we're supposed to be figuring it out. But what sucks is we figuring it out this year is a bad time to figure it out, like you said, because where's the answer now? We know this ain't the guy. So where's the answer to that solution now?
Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes you end up like the Colts. I mean, and we all know that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you end up like the Colts, where you can put a good football team and you're a quarterback away for 4 years, and then all of a sudden it's boop. Like they canceled that Chris Ballard Hall of Fame induction. I think that got canceled like what 2-3 years ago. Like he was. I mean, he was.
They're starting to cancel that Shane Steichen statue they had made too. Bro.
I like Shane. I think Shane's a really good coach. They're trying to do what they can do. Sometimes you just don't have it. Like you try to kick the tires and it's just not there. It's hard to find.
I was happy as hell they drafted AR. I never thought AR was just this amazing quarterback because I mean he has all the talent, in the world, but I didn't see it in Florida. Did you see? I mean, I don't know if you watch college football. Did you see it in Florida?
No, dude, the guy. First of all, the guy was the most, and this was my thing with Anthony Richardson. I call Will Levis, Gosh Allen, Anthony Richardson's LaFar Jackson. Like he's like. Here's the thing about Anthony Richardson, like all that talk about Bryce Young, and they were saying that Bryce Young has all these concerns about injuries and Bryce Young's going to get banged up and all this. And it's like he missed one game in college. Like he literally missed one game in college. It was because of his shoulder and it was because he slid wrong. Anthony Richardson had knee surgery. He had a concussion. He had a shoulder injury, and he literally missed a game because he hurt himself dancing on a Friday night before the game after he cleared concussion protocol. This is a true story. He went to the club on a Friday before the game. Damian Pierce of the Texans was right there, and he hurt himself dancing. So, like, the durability concerns, just because you're a massive dude, that was there. And then you talk about accuracy and stuff. Yeah, that was a weird situation for them. I actually thought they did a good job last year, but they're in no man's land as well. So it's hard to find a quarterback. It's really, really hard. Like it's not easy at all.
Yeah, that's why they gotta get these contracts out to these quarterbacks when they may not really deserve it. I mean, we're saying that with Daniel Jones getting released earlier today. But shout out to Let's Go H-Town, man. My bad, it took so long. H-Town coming in from the locker room. Titans, what are y'all doing this year? Let's go Texas, man. Look, man, the Titans are trying to find out whether Will Levis is the guy. And at the same time, I think the Titans are on a tank mission. If you haven't heard already, L'Jarius Sneed is headed to IR. He's already missed 3 or 4 games already. So when he goes to IR, he'll miss another 4 games. In my opinion, this is unofficially the end of his season. And Firestone, I'm gonna get your thoughts on Sneed and how do you feel about the situation?
Man, it's disheartening. I'm gonna watch what I say because I know Mama Sneed be watching and stuff, and I know she a fan of the show. But no, man, it's disheartening, man, because you really wanted to see Sneed come out here, and he didn't put the play out on the field that he wanted to put out there what he expects of himself too. He was still trying to get into a system, sink his feet into the ground and really realize where he at, what he's doing, and in a role. He's in a leadership role that he hasn't been before, so he's just really trying to figure all that out. And then the injury comes, and he had some bad play at the beginning of the season, and he wasn't happy with that. So you really wanted to see him come back. But me and RJ was kind of talking about this before we came on, is that for what reason do you need to come back now? What, just to prove the fans that we did right by paying you this money and trading for you? You can do that next year. Sit at home, go rehab, go recover, take that extra time so that way when the off season comes, you can have a legit off season, you can train, you can get back to where you need to be by season time. If you come out in year 2 and you play like the guy we thought you was and what everybody says, a top corner in the league and why we paid you what we paid you, and you do that in year 2 here as the Titans, nobody's going to give a damn about this injury year 1. So you don't have to come out and do it right now. There's no reason to risk injury or risk re-injuring this just to prove a point this year when we can recover longer, get you healthier, build you back, and then come back next year stronger and better and prove it next year. We don't have to prove that this year at all. Just heal, be better.
Yeah. Go ahead, RJ.
Basically, with me with Snead, it's just that, man, just gonna get healthy for next year, man. We don't need you this year right now, man. Gonna get healthy, because I just felt like at the beginning of the season, it just seemed like he was playing injured, man. Is it just me? Like, Snead ain't never been that damn bad, bro. Like, he had to been playing injured, bro. You know what I'm saying? To the point where, he was one of the worst cornerbacks off of PFF. And I'm like, nah, he's not that bad, man. He got to be playing injured. You don't want to be putting bad tape out there, man. Go and get healthy, man, and just rehab, man, and try to get better for the next season, man. Because you're way better than what I better than what I saw from the first couple of games that we was watching. So, yeah, just going to get better.
Gonna switch gears a little bit with you, Landry, because y'all not having cornerback problems in H-Town. Matter of fact, I think Stingley is playing at an all-pro level right now, man. And I'm gonna ask you this question because I know that you're pretty impressed with Stingley, but how impressed have you been with Lassiter this year?
I think they might have one of the best corner duos in the league in the next couple of years. And I think they might actually have one of the best young secondaries, because Kalen Bullock right now was tied for the lead in interceptions out of USC. And he's been a freak. Jalen Petry's now kind of a linebacker / nickel. He's playing good. Like, they're keeping him out of coverage. But the Lassiter thing is really, really impressive. They're a nice duo. Teams still challenge him. Stingley's going to get paid after this year, but the Lassiter thing was kind of a blessing in disguise, because sometimes you just get lucky. Sometimes it just falls in your lap. I think it's the same thing that happened with Jeffrey Simmons. Like, Jeffrey Simmons probably in a redraft goes top 5, top 10 in that draft, just kind of falls in your lap. I think that's what happened with Lassiter. I don't know if they would have taken Lassiter over Kool-Aid McKinstry and Dejan and the other guys, but they got Lassiter, and he's been perfect. Like, he's competitive. He's cornerback too. The cornerback duo is really, really, really good. They're really, really, really physical, and the defense is really, really good. And they haven't been completely healthy yet. So I think this could be a championship caliber defense. It's whether or not the offense can get their stuff together. But there's good corners, 1, 2, 3 down though. Among the worst in the league, I would probably say.
Yeah, I've been seeing Kuda getting burnt, man. I was watching the Cowboys game. I'm like, man, Kuda,
that was his first defensive snap. There's a reason this is his third team in X amount of years. Yeah, he played 4 or 5 special team snaps week 1, and then that was actually his first defensive snap. That was him getting activated. So yeah, Akuda ain't it. It's downhill from 3 down.
I'll say this about last year. Obviously my team's in the SEC. Your team's in the SEC too. I think you're a Texas fan, right?
For sure.
Okay, yeah, your team. Well, so basically, I'm saying I'm always paying attention to the Georgia Bulldogs, man. So that's one dude, man. He's always stuck out on that defense whenever I would watch him play, and I'm like, man, who is that Kamari Lassiter dude? And I've been on here saying, like, man, we should get that guy, this, that, and the other. But I seen that 40 time, and I'm like, I don't know, man. That 40 time, when I seen him run that 4-6, I was like, I don't know if that's gonna translate to league. Probably going to play like slot corner or something. But man, I see, man, he's working out on the outside, man.
That was the concern. And I remember when Kirby Smart at the end of the Florida State game basically came out and said, our guys like football. He was basically talking about Kamari Lassiter, because the dude played in the bowl game. Like, Georgia, you talk about like shutting it down, like, a guy who's going to go to the league, and you're playing Florida State. You don't make the college football playoff. Florida State's like whole team opts out, and then he plays. So yeah, he's got a nice makeup. They got some dogs on defense for sure. The Texans got some serious dogs on defense. It's really good. And that's kind of the equalizer with how good the Titans D-line should be, is that this defense is really good.
And this is why this defense, man, I'm praying on y'all to go ahead and expose Levis, man, so we can go ahead and move on to another quarterback. Go ahead and do what y'all do, man.
That right side of our line, yeah, because they're going to come.
I don't know how.
Bro, I guarantee you, Will Anderson is going to be lined up over the right tackle every single time.
So who has it the worst in your opinion, Firestone? Because Big Jeff and T Sweat, I mean, they are a problem. And Jeff Simmons looks like he's returning back to that Jeff Simmons that we were all rooting for to get paid. But in your opinion, who has it the worst? The Texans offensive line or the Titans?
The Titans. Because at least with the Texans, if the blitz comes, CJ might escape, might do something. He throws picks and he does stuff, but he doesn't or hasn't done Will Levis is shit yet. So at least Will Levis, like, I might block, I might miss my block. My QB won't make me look good. I might make my QB do some dumb shit that he tends to do from time to time. So there's an extra layer of I can't fuck up because I know if I fuck up, this guy might make a bad play worse. So you don't really have that thought process in the Texans where you just have the thought process of shit. If I miss my block and he gets hit, coach is going to chew my ass out. Owner's going to chew my ass out. I done got this guy hit. So I think there's just a different level of thought process in the head. So for the Titans, I think they're like, man, I can't miss. And then this dude fumbles or throws a pick or does something else because I'm going to get my ass chewed out 10 times more for that.
I just think Levis' pocket presence is absolute dog shit. Like, this man literally will snap the ball, bro, and y'all edges will run all the way out, man, and he will run into the damn sack. Like, I'll be like, bro, you got to step up in the freaking pocket. Like, and then like he's sitting in the pocket, and it's like he see the bull rush, you know what I'm saying, coming, and it's like he doesn't step where the old lineman can have a chance to block the guy. Like, I'm like, man, this dude pocket presence is hard.
Y'all are being honest about him now. Y'all are kind of like, y'all are letting me know the truth now. This is I feel like we're in therapy.
We was telling you the truth from the beginning. It was more so of a front office conversation more than it was Levis. You know what I'm saying? Like, Levis, we know Levis ain't the guy. It's just that we want to make sure that the front office know that he's not the guy. We don't want them to believe in him. Like, we want another quarterback.
And last year, there were so many other question marks. Like, could we fairly evaluate him when he was getting sacked so much? Mike Vrabel's not an offensive-minded guy. Never really had a good offensive coordinator. Never been a top offense. So you had all these excuses you don't have this year. So now it's just like, hey, buddy, it's you. You're fucking up here. You're the guy that's not changing. This is supposed to be a QB guru type guy that's supposed to come in here and change you. And Brian Callahan and your mechanics still aren't looking better. They're looking worse since Vrabel, and that shouldn't be happening when we brought in an offensive minded guy versus a defensive minded guy. So we don't have excuses now this year, where last year we was trying to figure out and just like, is it him or is it just a bad O-line? No, it's him, because we went 3 games with without a sack, and then he stepped into the game and got 8 sacks. So some of the sacks is his fault for how he's stepping up into the pocket and just not having pocket awareness or pocket presence.
But we seen how I seen that the Titans got better. We got to see the core of the Tennessee Titans when Mason Rudolph was the quarterback. And you've seen that the offensive line can block. You know that Mason Rudolph is the quarterback. So I know when I get a talented quarterback that knows how to play quarterback, we can be a good football team. You know what I'm saying? Now, do we make mistakes? Do we give up some big plays? Yes. So does every team in the freaking NFL. We have the number 2 defense in the freaking league. Hey, there's no way, bro, that we should be 2 and freaking 8 with this defense. I'm sorry. Like, y'all not gonna sit here and tell me. I don't care how bad the offensive line is. When you have number 2 defense in the league, man, you at least should have 5-6 games. You know what I'm saying right now. When you have below average quarterback, you're gonna win 2 games. That's what happens. You know, so
Levis still don't have a win, bro. He still doesn't have a win as a starting QB this year.
That ain't gonna happen this week. I love that episode. It ain't happen this week.
I'm expecting a good hype. I better get a good hype video though. I enjoy the hell out of those two. Like, dead serious.
I ain't gonna say too much, but
come on, man.
I ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah, okay. we'll see about that.
Don't worry, man. We get a quarterback. When you come back on here, we'll ramp up the trash talk for you.
No,
Just go ahead and beat us, man, so we can get this number 1 pick, man. We're gonna get Shador, man. We got Shador versus CJ Hasselbeck, man. You know how we do, man.
CJ Hasselbeck. He's gonna from Dak to Hasselbeck. Okay.
Oh, we had a show a couple weeks ago. Everybody was listing him all types of names, but
yeah,
Stroud,
we had a
it was
whole show on
crazy.
it.
Yeah, it's good though. Like I do have a lot of respect, and I think like the trash. Like I cover the squad, man. Like I'm there every day. I cover the squad. I want them to do well. You know, wife is in Houston. Daughter was born in Houston. All that. So I want them to do well. But I objectively cover the squad for better or worse. But I do say, and I think we said this before, I do respect that you guys are kind of, you know, you're keeping the energy going and keeping it rolling like throughout. And I'm not saying that in a condescending manner. Like it was football hell from 2020 to 2022. And I was getting paid to do it. It's stressful as hell to do that, but y'all are keeping that energy. And that's a really, really good thing to do. And I know that it's all, you know, it's just all fun back and forth and stuff. And obviously the history and the uniforms and all that crap, which I think are we still arguing about uniforms? I asked Aziz Al-Shire about it. Al-Shire said, yeah, it was just kind of interesting to see it from both sides. But yeah, it's good to see y'all doing y'all's thing consistently, though. That's a good thing. Because I'm sure
you know, man, we will forever be the Houston Oilers, man. You might as well just go ahead and let it go, man.
That's fine with me. I'm not tripping on that. Amy Adams Stank's the one who wants to put it in like the attic and like just leave the uniforms there. That's fine. I don't care either way about the unis.
Well,
so
I'll say this. We do have Oiler Week though. So I think Oiler Week this year is with you guys. So every year that you guys come to town, we're gonna do.
Are y'all doing it week 18?
Yeah, we're doing it week 18.
Oh, I hope not, man. Just cancel it. I mean, shoot. Why would
we're not gonna win anyway? So
why would you put I'm gonna say by the time we play this next football game, the Titans are going to be one more win. Matter of fact, I'll give them 2 more wins. So there'll be a 4-win team by the time we play Houston and Nashville. Why even try that? I mean, that'd be more embarrassing than going to lose to Case Keenum in those jerseys. I mean, just cancel it, Amy, if you hear us.
She can't, man. She can't quit that.
It might as well just make it a yearly tradition, man. We're gonna wear it when the Texans come to town, man. Might as well whip all the uniforms out, win or loss. You know what I'm saying? So when we do win, it's gonna feel good.
But what happens if y'all lose to Case Keenum one year and then Davis Mills, like they're resting thing, and y'all lose in those Oiler uniforms?
We almost lost to Davis Mills once upon a time. Haven't we lost to him one time?
We almost lost on the year we was trying to get the number 1 seed, and they came. Remember, we went up 28-0, and they came all the way back.
That when Tannehill threw that bomb to AJ Brown, right?
Yeah. No, that was the one where Tannehill broke that sack and he threw it at Nick Westbrook or Keenum.
I remember that.
He took it like 50 yards. Like, oh yeah. By the way, Landry, I'm gonna let you know now, y'all.
I think I lost one in the ugly ass weather.
That was to Tyron.
Yeah, that was to Tyrod Taylor in the corner. That was an ugly game.
Y'all had Tyrod Taylor. Oh my God, I forgot all about that.
I will say this though, Landry, man. Y'all might as well just go and accept it. Nick Westbrook and Keenum is gonna score a touchdown on you guys. we don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. Might as well just go ahead and accept it because he's done it for 5 weeks in a row now. He scored a touchdown.
He's a touchdown leader.
He has more touchdowns than Devontae Adams, AJ Brown. Freaking, like the list was ridiculous. Like I'm like, yeah, how? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was like that Jamar Chase. Like I'm like, how does he have more touchdowns than this guy? Like, but
a 98-yard touchdown last week, bro. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody had that coming, bro. But hey, man, NWI.
We could have beat the Vikings, man. I'm gonna be real. Like if the rest wasn't on that BS, bro, we would have beat the Vikings. We'd have beat them.
So. Even though I probably didn't want us to, I want the
doing his thing, man. I mean, just every week is something different that NWI does that makes you just say, "Wow, man!" Like I really do appreciate this dude, man. But Landry, enough about NWI because we can't get enough of NWI, and we'll talk about NWI all night if you let us. But Landry, talk to us about one of the unsung heroes for the Texans and what impact could they have on this game Sunday?
Unsung hero. I mean, I don't know if he's unsung, but Joe Mixon's just kind of the heartbeat of the team. He's been, I mean, it's been amazing. They tried to get Saquon, and then Joe Mixon became available. I think they're probably going to try to run outside with Mixon. I would keep an eye on him. Also in the middle, Tim Settle. I don't even know if you are familiar with his game too much, but to a 2-year, $6 million contract, he's near the top of the league in like interior sacks. He's been really, really good. I know y'all's O-line is pretty rough. I would look out for Tim Settle. You know, we're talking about Will Anderson. We're talking about Daniil Hunter. Those guys.
But it's 6th sack of the season, right, on Sunday.
Yeah, and he's playing really well. So I would keep an eye on Tim Settle. And someone else that looked good was Mario Edwards Jr. I know that's kind of he looked. I mean, he's in his 11th year. I remember his dad. Out of Florida State with the Cowboys. But he was doing good before he got suspended. So, yeah, I would keep an eye on those interior D linemen, Tim Settle. But Joe Mixon, I don't know if that's unsung, but he's been doing his thing all year.
Yeah, Joe Mixon. For whatever it's worth, man. I mean, shoot, some fans who really hate CJ Stroud have said that Joe Mixon has the Texans on his back right now. Would you agree with that, Landry?
I mean, I would say I put it this way yesterday when I was talking about this. If you told me I had to vote for an MVP of the Texans, and I had to fill out a ballot, just 11 games into the season, I would say Joe Mixon. I would pick Joe Mixon, just like with everything that from the on the field to the off the field. That doesn't mean that he's more important than CJ Stroud. That doesn't mean that can be the case if you want to, go beyond just winning the AFC South. But I would say, yeah, if you asked me to pick the offensive player of the year this year for the Texans, I would definitely pick Joe Mixon just based on the 11 game sample size, and he missed a handful of them. But I would definitely say that he's playing his ass off.
Man, he didn't do none of this shit on the Bengals. I'll tell you that much.
Bro, no, he did it silently.
You
They
put
ain't
in
talking
some
about
work.
him, bro.
I mean, you had Joe Burrow, you had Chase, you had T. Higgins. You had a lot going on.
1,000-yard rusher every year, and there was games where this dude would have 3 TDs, bro. He was a beast coming out of OU when he was coming out of college, and then they took him over there to Bengals, and he has been a workhorse for them. But other guys in the league like Derrick Henry consistently do things, and Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley that you're only talking about the Joe Mixons. He's been doing that out there in the Bengals, but other guys have been able to overpower him. But bro, Joe Mixon's been a beast in the NFL. It's just, I think he came to the right team at the right time that had a spotlight and was like, what the fuck? Where's this been at? And they just ain't been paying attention.
Yeah, he's solid. He's a solid back for sure. He's he's been a godsend. He's one of the leaders of the squad locker room. They just named him a captain 3 weeks ago when Diggs went down. But yeah, there's a lot of energy there with Joe Mixon. You saw him disrespecting the Cowboys on Monday. Just you're too little type of vibe. That's just kind of Joe Mixon. It's been one of the better between him and Settle and Daniil Hunter. I mean, the Texans had a really good offseason. Lassiter, Bolick, they had a hell of an offseason for sure. It was nice. They weren't they weren't paying like Nordstrom prices for Walmart quality like Calvin Ridley and Snead. They were kind of when they paid the Nordstrom price, they got the Nordstrom guy in Daniil Hunter. They didn't get the Ross Snead and Calvin Ridley.
Mm-hmm. And the Texans are starting to get healthy as well, Landry. Talk to us about some of the players that are coming back from injury and about to come back from injury.
Yeah, so Nico Collins was on a snap count last week. He's back. He's going to be doing his thing. Foley Fatukasi is out. They have someone that y'all are familiar with, the Nico Autry. He is questionable, which is interesting because he didn't practice this week. He's questionable. And then they got Will Anderson. Could be on a snap count, but I actually asked him about this today. Like the last time he was on a snap count against the Titans, he played like 12 snaps and had 2 sacks.
That'll happen. This Sunday.
So he might be on a snap count. So yeah, they are getting a a little bit more healthy. And let's just be clear, like right now I'm poking fun at the Titans. So there'll be times where, years down the line, y'all will be able to do the same. So we just got,
we've been doing it for years. We've been doing it.
If the shoe were on the other foot, I don't even know what y'all would be doing right now. I don't even.
Man, for all the junk that Texas fans talk, go ahead, Firestone.
Y'all finally got here, so y'all's finally getting y'all's turn to talk. Like, so yeah, it kind of sucks, but we've been doing this for many years. This whole Vrabel era, y'all really wasn't doing too well. Y'all was out there doing bad for multiple seasons, so y'all just got good here these past couple of years. So I get it. Y'all get to have y'all's fun, but we will be back very soon.
Yeah, it don't take long for us to get better.
Y'all turned on Vrabel, and now we're talking about the glory years. Y'all.
I did not.
Nah, he was big time. He had to drag this man away from Brady.
Hey, Firestone
not happy about this.
Got an appeal out there right now. If y'all didn't know this already, man, he trying to appeal the decision.
I accepted it because you have to as a fan and move forward, but I still did not agree with that decision. And I feel like if you would have gave Vrabel this team, we definitely wouldn't be a fucking losing team. We wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. I promise you that. But that's not what we can talk about no more. You got to be along the ride, and I'm here with Callie, and I'm hoping for the best. And I hope his next year is better than this year, because I feel like he's fumbled a lot of good. Or he's fumbled a lot of times where it was very pivotal moments in his coaching career this year, and he just missed them. And you kind of expect that out of a first-year head coach. But I want to see you change those in year two, or you might not be the guy we was thinking you was.
For sure. So, go ahead.
I was about to say I was out on Vrabel probably after the 2022 season. I was like, yeah, man, he done lost his fire, man. I just don't think what he does works, and he's too old school, man. I don't think we're gonna get there with any type of old school game. Then J-Rob started screwing the team over, man. It was like J-Rob left, and then next thing you know, Vrabel gone. So it's like it was just a whole avalanche of just BS, man. That was to Vrabel's downfall. Plus, he would never let his coaches walk, his friends walk either, man. I wasn't a fan of that at all, So
Hallie won't fire the special teams coordinator right now, bro, because he's his friend from Cincinnati. What the hell, bro?
Oh, you talking about Kelly? I mean, he's getting fired at the end of the season, man. We all know he's gone.
He better.
We all know
he better. I just love the irony that everybody's like, Vrabel hires his buddies, and then we bring in Callie, and he hires his buddy as a special teams coordinator. Then what does he do? Oh, he hires Daddy as well. But we're tired of Vrabel hiring his buddies.
Best line coaches of all time, though.
Yeah, that's what
I get that. Remember, we was buddy. We didn't want all that, but I get he is one of the best lines, but now it's different. But this special teams coordinator is ass, bro. He better fire him after this year.
When the Jets hire Vrabel, bro, and the Jets don't get any better. I don't want to hear anything.
Like Vrabel's special teams were good last year, though. Like the special teams, wasn't that y'all's problem last year?
See, last year
we had good players. Now special teams, not so much.
Been y'all's issue for a while.
See, that's the thing with Firestone. No. Man. Firestone only remember the good about Vrabel. He don't remember the ending fall off. We was absolute donkey trash.
Hold on, y'all forget. Are y'all's like, oh yeah, those last 2 years was horrible on Vrabel's, but it was the most injured roster in the NFL twice. It was lackluster talent at best. It was the best that he could put together with a coaching core, because everybody's like, you got to hire better coaches. Okay, with the talent and or the lack of talent we had on the roster, what coach wants to come here and coach that and move their team or their family across the country to go coach the Tennessee Titans at that time? We didn't have nobody but Derrick Henry, and you knew Derrick Henry was leaving. Why would I come there? It's hard to bring coaches in when you got GMs that don't give you players that actually make it appeasing. Like coaches be like, yeah, I want to coach that guy. Where did we have that guy outside of Derrick Henry in the last 3 years of Mike Vrabel's year for him to actually get some decent coaches here?
But we didn't have it. Also, though, is that Mike Vrabel would never hire a real offensive coordinator. He kept hiring trash. Like, man,
we had Ryan Tannehill.
Since Arthur Smith left, we had Downing. We had who was that other offensive coordinator we had, bro?
Kelly.
Yeah, Tim Kelly. He was sorry, bro.
He was Bill O'Brien's right-hand guy.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just like it's like Vrabel, like it's like he was scared to hire a good coach because he knew he was gonna leave. Like you gotta do that. That comes with being a head coach. You gotta hire people that's gonna get hired, man. It just is what it is, man. You gotta find the next guy. You know,
But
so
you gotta have things that make coaches want to come here and coach, and we ain't had that in a while until Rand just gave us this free agency. Like
So
this
kind of
free
off
agency, we
subject,
just got that.
fellas. Kind of off subject. Did y'all see what Mike Mularkey said? I forget who podcast he was on, but he basically said that he told Ian Rappaport a lie. Like, I know y'all remember the reports coming out that the Titans had offered Mike Mularkey a contract extension after the New England playoff game, and that was a lie. Mike Mularkey said that he actually put that out there, that he was pranking him. Like, he said he knew he was going to get fired, but he saw an opportunity to, you know, play a little trick on the organization. So, hey, he hit up Ian Rappaport and said, like, look, hey, I got a contract extension coming. And Ian Rappaport threw it out there that he was getting extended. The next morning, he said it wasn't much of a discussion. He said they just went on ahead and let him go. But he said the look on their faces, it was priceless. RJ, how do you feel about Mike Mularkey real quick? Do you think, now talking about Vrabel as well, do you think Vrabel inherited Mike Mularkey's team? Do you give him credit for the team that Mike Mularkey put together, or is that all Vrabel?
One thing Vrabel is good at, and this is a Vrabel attribute. Vrabel's not going to build no sorry team up to be great, but if he inherits a good team, he will maximize that team. He will get that team and make them what they are, or maybe better. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think he's going to. He's not the guy you hire whenever your team is trash and you trying to get out of the hole. He's a guy you hire when you have a talented roster like the Jets. You know, like the who else in it? Maybe the Giants or something like that, who to me has a talented roster, but they just got sorry coaches. You know what I'm saying? You hire a Vrabel, and Vrabel is going to make that team even what they are or better than what they are. So as for giving him credit for the roster here in Tennessee, no, because only thing we can really give him credit for is Ryan Tannehill, because he realized that Mariota wasn't going to be able to get us over the hump, so we went and got Tannehill. You know what I'm saying? So him and J-Rod went and got Tannehill. So other than Tannehill, nah, that was all Mike Mularkey's team, because I think they drafted AJ Brown as well. So that was a luck.
Yes,
pick. That was a luck pick, man. I ain't gonna. Bro, we got lucky with getting him, bro. I'm gonna keep that 100. He got him in the second round, like,
and just shipped him off like the Texans shipped D-Hop off, man. I mean, Landry. I was laughing like him when the Texans done that, but then when we pull that same foolishness with AJ Brown, I was like, dang, I can't even say nothing to Texans fans anymore about D-Hop, man.
I couldn't believe we did it.
He was pissed. He couldn't believe it. Like he was more mad than anyone about that.
I don't understand it. I'll never understand that to this day. I was driving thinking about this shit. There's somebody. I was driving today, man. I was on the interstate, and I was just like, man, we really traded this motherfucker.
You just had both hands on the wheel, crying, and you're like,
yeah, you know, you just drive it, and you just have you ever just had one of them conversations with yourself, like, dang, bro, we really traded AJ Brown. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Draft day too, man. That was cruel. You're getting all hyped up for the draft, and then it just happens on draft day. That was cruel. That was bad. The new Hopkins, like, at least he was kind of on the back end, won a new deal. But I mean, AJ was in his prime, man. That was weird. That was one more viral moments. That was kind of where you kind of had an idea that Vrabel wasn't really down with this wasn't for long.
That's when you saw Vrabel lose the fire, bro. That moment was Vrabel lost fire. Then all the injuries happened after that, and it's just like you got to bounce back and pick up something at some point. But then you only got 1 year with Rand to work with it. But I don't know. I hate the narrative that, like, oh, he just inherited a Mike Mularkey's team. No, J-Rob put those teams together in those first couple of years. It was a good draft. But yet you still had Tannehill come. You still had A.J. Brown get here. You still had to rebuild the O-line when Vrabel got here as well. That defense was not good until Vrabel got here. Vrabel made that defense better. So, and a lot of those players that J-Rob got that was Mularkey players were bust and turned out to be gone within Vrabel's first or second year, or constantly was injured. So I think Vrabel did the best that he could with that team, but I don't think he inherited a Mike Mularkey team because it was J. Rob's put together all the time, and then J. Rob blew it up.
He inherited a Mike Mularkey core. I don't think he elevated that team. You know what I'm saying? So like, over those past couple of years, he said, okay, we need this to go to this team, and he got it. You know what I'm saying? And we got to the AFC Championship in 2019. It's just that we ran into the buzzsaw that was the Kansas City Chiefs. If I put that on everything, if y'all would have won that game, Landry, against the Chiefs, we were going to the Super Bowl. We knew we could beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the things I
think our rivalry would have reached new heights if we would played the Texans in the AFC Championship.
That was a good loss, though. I mean, because it ended up being the beginning of the end for O'Brien. So that ended up being like a blessing in disguise type of loss because they weren't really going anywhere. I do want to say this, guys, though. This is kind of crazy. So we started talking about Will Levis next year. Now we've worked our way back to Mularkey and Vrabel. Like, there's a game on Sunday. I didn't realize there is.
We're deflecting.
Or do we want to talk about Jeff Fisher? Like, do we want to talk? Are we working our way back?
No, we ain't gonna go that far back, man.
The Texans might not even have a damn squad if y'all are looking it back and distracted.
Where have you ever been at a part in your life where everything's just falling apart and you're like, okay, I know there's a task at hand, but I got to start putting some shit together real quick. And I got to figure out where it went wrong, why it went wrong, because until I figure that out, every step forward is going to end in the same result. And that's kind of where we're at. We're like, okay, we thought we was doing good, but it fucked up again. Okay, was it what we did wrong with Vrabel? Was it the Mularkey? Was it now we're just trying to self-evaluate and figure out how do we do better in the future?
Yeah, I've been there for sure. Trust me, not too long ago, for sure.
I know.
Sure. But yeah, man, let's go ahead.
Like, can it?
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead get these score predictions out the way, man, and keys to victory as well. I mean, not a lot of people think the Titans are going to win this football game, but I'll get to my keys to victory because I think there is a path, and that path starts with being quick and decisive. Will Levis was decisive against the Vikings. He was quick at times against the Vikings. That has to continue on Sunday because the Texans, they have an elite defensive front seven. I would even go so far as to say they have an elite defense because they got an all-pro corner and an up-and-coming cornerback as well. And Petrie is playing some pretty damn good football as well. So it's got to be quick and decisive. And defensively, have to attack Houston's interior offensive line. If you want to get to CJ Stroud, you got to attack their interior. T. Sweat, Jeffrey Simmons, we going to need them at their very best. If you can get CJ on the move, if you can get him thinking for just one little small second more than he wants to, you got a path to win this football game.
Yeah, we can go to mine. Mine is run the ball effectively, take care of the football, man. One thing about the Texans, man, they create a lot of turnovers, man. They have a really, really good defense. When we run the ball, eat the clock up, man. Keep CJ Stroud and them on the sideline, man, and we make a couple throws here and there, man, and try to get up early and play Tennessee Titan football, and that's physical. Eat the clock, run the ball. Let's take care of the football, man, and we have a chance to win this football game. I mean, it's a rivalry game, man, a divisional game. A lot of hatred behind this game, man, especially from the two owners as well. So you never know, man. You never know in these type of football games.
Yeah, and for me, it's win the turnover battles and then protect Will Levis, which that's still going to be a hard task within itself. This D line is going to come. Ryans is going to make sure that defense is ready and going to bring pressure, and he's going to bring it in multiple different ways. They're studying film. they're picking up the same ticks that I've been picking up on Will Levis with the wiping of your hands and everything that he's been doing in his towel manner. They done seen all those things that he does pre-snap to get to know when the ball's coming out, and they know that he stares down a guy. Trust me, they're way smarter than I am at football. So if I'm seeing it, I know they're seeing it. So just protect Will Levis, and that goes more than just don't let him get sacked. That means to call plays that make sure that this dude don't put the game on the line, like call deep shots, strategically, and kind of not limit him, but like be like, hey man, we don't need to do certain things here. Sometimes just check the ball down, live to play another down. Those plays will come to us when they need to come. So just protect Will Levis, and that's more than just not letting him get hit.
So Landry, you got a key to victory for the Texans, and honest to God, truth shooter, I got one just pretty much. But yeah, I'm gonna let Landry talk to us about his keys to victory for the Texans.
Key to victory is just contain those guys in the inside. Sweat and Simmons, like you have to contain those guys. Your weakness is kind of their strength. You got to contain them. And then you just gotta play defense the way you've been playing defense. And Will Levis will do you some favors. So as long as you're containing the front four of the Titans, I think you're in good shape. There is a chance that this is, I mean, like in the trenches that you could get beat up. Like there's no scenario where the Texans interior, and I said this yesterday, interior offensive line physically dominates the Titans interior D line. It's not going to happen. So I anticipate they're going to make Sweat run side to side and just try to get him off the field. But you really just have to contain the advantage that the Titans have in the trenches on their D line.
I was just going to say the Texans, all they need to do is score more than 17 points in the first half, and they're good. But we'll go ahead and get to our score predictions. Firestone, I'm going to let you start that one off.
Okay, so I got the Titans winning this one 24-3. I gotta have faith in my Titans here. I just do. Now there is a little bit part of me where I think, are we going to do this? No, but if we're going to do this, this is the scenario I see is they're going to have to put up that 17 in the first half. They're going to have to get CJ and them like caught off guard, whatever. Titans dominate first half. We don't do so well in the second half. So we got to get at least 17 in that first half. We maybe go get another touchdown in that third quarter on the first drive. And then CJ and them start trying to come back at the end of it. D'Amico says, hey, why go for it at the tie at the end? Let's go for 2. They don't get the 2. We win by 1, 24-23. Division rival games, how it goes. If it's going to be a Titans win, it's going to be a gritty one, and that's how it's going to be.
RJ, you got a different thought. Talk to him.
Man, I said 24-17 Texas, man. The Titans ain't going to make past 17 points. I mean, we've done this how many times, man? When we play a good defense, we only get to 17, bro. So it might as well, man. I've been right. I was right on the Colts prediction, man, in 20-17. Texas about to do the same thing. 24-17. Texas put us away probably at the end of the game, man. It's going to be a close game, man, but I think that the Texans will put us away in the end. 24-17.
I got the Titans winning this football game. Look, it's going to start out looking like Houston is just going to straight up dominate this football game. But the Titans, I think they do enough early to set something up for later because, as y'all know, the Houston Texans struggle in the second half of football games to score points. And I know that they did score some points last week against the Cowboys, but I mean, shoot, man. I mean, they were pressing for that, man. You could tell they was doing that for pride. They needed that to assure themselves, like, we don't have anything going on. But anyway, I say that the Titans sneak in there around the fourth quarter. It could get interesting, and we could see a late turnover by CJ Stroud, setting up a game-winning field goal for Nick Folk. And there it is. The Titans walk in to NRG Stadium and upset the Houston Texans. Landry, talk to him.
I'm going to say 27-14. I'm going to say 27-14 Texans. That's really where I'm at. I was the 17, like y'all got me sold on 17. So I went 3 less. I'm gonna say 27-14. And I think we'll know early what kind of game it's going to be by what goes on in the trenches. Would it be crazy for this to be close? I don't think so. I also think there's kind of a hangover factor that the Texans have where I don't know what effing day it is. Like, I'll just be honest with you. And I just cover the team and I just go to practice and speak in the morning and speak at night. But they played on Thursday night. They played on Sunday night. They played on Monday night. So it's been kind of a little bit of a blot. And they played the Jets in prime time. They played the Cowboys in prime time. They played the best team in the league in prime time. So there could be kind of a hangover. I think that could happen. That could be something to keep an eye on if they come out a little bit flat. So I'm going to say 27-14, but I don't think it's outlandish, y'all's predictions at all, just given what we've seen and what the NFL is. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be fun. I just want you guys to be like, enjoy the moment, man. We don't have to talk about the Mike Malarkey days. You guys are
oh man, it ain't nothing to us, bro. We got 2 wins, bro. We trying to get to this off season so bad. Like, we like, man, my goodness, man. We look at the schedule. We like lost.
Damn, it's only week 11. I know. Damn, it's only week 11. Oh my gosh.
And plus, too, I get tired of sitting on here crapping on the Titans. I mean, shoot, we all know the Titans suck, but hey, it's content, so shoot. Let me make this content a little interesting.
Your video, speaking of content, that hype video better be one of the best ever, man. You can't come out.
I don't know if I'm gonna do a hype video this Sunday, but
Rocco ain't been doing it lately, man. We ain't been good, man.
That's what it is. We just ain't been good, man. I mean, I gotta keep it real. Like, I ain't been too hyped to get up and watch the football game. It's like when I wake up on Sundays now, I mean, I just be thinking about other stuff, and it's a drag just watching a Titans football game. But I remember specifically when you had nothing to play for. I still have your country ass voice in my head. And I remember it was the last game of the season. And you were like, I want Derrick Henry to score 16 touchdowns and run for 1,600 goddamn yards and blah, blah, blah. So don't tell me that you can't get hype when it's lost. I remember, I'm telling you, I watched those videos. There better be a smoke-filled video from you. This better be the best ever. This has got to be a strong video. Man, look, you just said it, Derrick Henry. There you go, right there. That's the reason I was.
He don't do one. I'm gonna do one
right there.
Man, it's been a playing in the background, everything. Man.
Yeah, it's been a great show, man. Landry, we appreciate you very much, man. Coming on here, chopping it up with us. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Locker Room on YouTube, SNL simulcast in the mornings, on the scene at Landry Locker. We're in the mix. The digital game is really strong. It's going to be fun. Look forward to seeing how this thing plays out and watching your guys just the roller coaster that is fandom in the NFL. Appreciate y'all for having me, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. All 328 people. Continue turning us up. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about us, blah, blah, blah. This, that, and the third. Make sure you visit our website, TitansColosseum.com. You can catch the show there. You can catch our articles there. You can even get merch there. And make sure you go holler at Wilson, Music City Autoplex. Hey, if you can't make it down there to the lot, you can most definitely go to musiccityAutoplex.com and check out their inventory. Buy with confidence. Best prices in 500 miles. Give them a call at 844-543-0108. And make sure y'all get them picks in, man. Bet US, man. 10% gamblers insurance, man. Where the game begins. 125% bonus on your first 3 bets, man. So pick that phone up, scan that QR code, and put them bets in, man. You can't lose. Even if you lose, you're not going to lose. Bet US, man. Hey, this been dope, man. Firestone, RJ, Landry. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we ride out?
I don't know if y'all noticed, but we had new intro and we have our super chatters and our Patreon members now on that. So if you haven't already joined and signed up on Patreon, there are 3 tiers and there's technically 4 because there's still a free membership that you can do, but then there's 3 tiers you can join our Patreon. Whether you're in the 3 tiers or if you're free, if you want your name on the screen, we're going to update it before every episode. Join the Patreon or be a super chatter and you will see your name come up on the screen and it will last for the entire month as well. So if y'all still got some time for November to come in to get your name on the screen and have it lasting there for the entire month for our show as well.
For sure. RJ, anything you want to say before we ride out?
Man, beat the goddamn Texans, man. God, I ain't trying to hear this shit no more, man. Golly, I'm trying to talk trash, man. Beat the damn Texans.
Ladies
Boys
don't
ain't
want to
that
hear
damn
it,
good,
man.
Like, it's the most overrated team in the playoffs right now, man. They the one that the automatic one that does, man. Please beat them. Please beat them. RJ beg you. We gonna get one more win for the rest of the season. Let it be this game.
Says the guy who picked them to lose. Please win the game. Titans. The guy who in the prediction says Texans are gonna win. Okay. Got you. All right, RJ.
Maybe you know what? Because I gotta pick against the Titans. You know what it is? Like, if I just talk when I talk negatively about the Titans, they come out and play good. When I talk negatively about a quarterback in the draft, we draft them. So I'm just gonna say that Sador trash, Cam Ward trash, everybody, all the good quarterbacks is trash. So maybe we can draft them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Landry, man. You got anything?
Psychology ain't working this year, bro.
You got any smoke you want to throw before we ride out, Landry?
Nah, it'll be fun, fellas. It'll be fun. We'll see how it goes, and I look forward to seeing y'all's reactions and covering this thing and being at the game. So we'll see how it goes. Best of luck to y'all, and keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Everybody have a blessed weekend, man. Treat everybody right. Put good energy out there in the world, and the world will treat you good. And tighten the fuck